All right. Welcome, everyone, back to the Darkroom Podcast. My name is
Episode
Adam.
3. Sorry for interrupting.
You
Episode
interrupt.
3.
Yes. So before we begin, I want to just remind people, if you're on the YouTube channel, please subscribe, leave a like, and definitely comment. We are definitely interested in reading some of your opinions on some of the stuff we talk about, because that would just make everything more interesting. If you're listening to the audio version, we're on Anchor and everywhere where they distribute, which is like Google Podcast, Pocket Cast, on Spotify, on Anchor itself. And if you're on Anchor, you can leave us audio messages, which is super cool. We'd love to get some of those as well. All right, now that that's over with, I really enjoyed how we started it last time. So how was your week since last we recorded?
Yes, my week was good. I mean, it's pretty similar to the week before. Did some work and played some Fortnite. You know about that. And otherwise, not much else really went on. What about you?
Well, you see, I had a pretty boring week. I didn't really go outside much. We're still in lockdown, which really sucks. And then it got extended till June 2nd, which is not fun.
No.
And I'm out of work too. I mean, usually I have work, but like recently in the past 3-4 weeks, I've been doing nothing, absolutely nothing. I did, however, wash my car, which was fun because it was covered in a layer of pollen. That's not fun.
No.
And it doesn't matter because it's back there anyways already. So washing the car did absolutely nothing. I did work out one day on Tuesday, and I worked a little too hard, I think. I most likely strained my biceps because I could not, my range of motion in my arms was not the best. It was painful to stretch out like this, stretch my hands up above my head, which that wasn't fun. And it only got better yesterday. And today I still kind of feel it. So I still wanted to rest one more day today before I get back in the gym.
Makes sense.
But yeah, I mean, I kind of wanted to go back and explore how COVID started for us, because school was really fun.
Yeah, it was.
And we missed out on a lot.
COVID came and hit like a truck.
Oh yeah. I mean, we were planning with a school trip to go to the UK at the end of May. That was going to be amazing. We were going to hook up with the University of Gloucestershire, or hold on, I got to say it properly. The University of Gloucestershire.
Oh yeah. You've been practicing that all week.
But yeah, I mean, they were going to give us free time and we could just explore the city, and it was going to be really awesome. A place where I've never been. Yeah, that was going to be awesome. Unfortunately, we never got to do that because it was in the end of May and lockdown happened April, end of March.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, wasn't it the end of April, the trip? Because we ended school and then it was the week after.
Oh, yeah, maybe yeah. But regardless, the trip was still in the middle of COVID.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And I mean, we were working out too. I mean, I haven't really worked out since the last time we were in the gym at Humber.
Mm-hmm.
And I really miss that. I mean, we have a gym at home in the garage, but it's kind of bootleg. I mean, we don't have proper weights for curls or anything.
Yeah.
We can put weights on the thing, but it's too big, so it has a lot of room for more weights to add.
Right.
But if you're not using that space, then it just gets in your way when you're doing curls, which doesn't help me because I tend to do things improperly. So
right.
I mean, that could have added to my bicep strain.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah. I mean, we've been in lockdown for like a year and a half now. There is light at the end of the tunnel. Both of us are one vaccine in right now, which is good. I believe our families are too, right? Yours?
Yeah, just not my sister because she's not 18 yet, but the rest of us are poked.
So I mean, we're almost there. The Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced if we want to have a good summer, at least 75% of the population has to have at least one dose, and the numbers have to go down. Which, I mean, we're getting there. I think today we were at 2,100 or 20. It was like 2,199. Like that's basically 2,200.
I remember when it was a couple hundred, and we were like, "Whoa, this is climbing."
Yeah. So.
Oh my god.
We're slowly trickling down, and I mean we're trying to plan a trip to Quebec City, which hopefully can happen. I mean I'm thinking of doing it over a long weekend at some point over the summer. That would be really cool. We could pack up the Crosstrek and just head out for a weekend. I'm very excited, but I don't know if it'll happen. That's what's kind of sad.
It will happen sooner or later, just like our trip to England is gonna happen later. We already know it's later, not sooner.
Right. Right. Yeah. So anyways, that was one topic that I kind of wanted to bring up quickly. The next thing, this is the interactive part. Bring out, I sent you some files, bring them out.
Yes, okay, I got them up.
The last week has been a big week for electric cars. If you look at image number 1, that is the Ford F-150 Lightning. That is Ford's first electric vehicle, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think so.
Maybe it's their second. Say like, yeah, but I'm not the car guy, so I really have no clue. Right.
So that's very interesting. They're competing with the Tesla Cybertruck. That is a big market. And to beat Tesla, that's tough because Tesla, the Cybertruck, has that crazy ass styling.
And they've also been making electric cars for how long? Well, exactly. It's like look at the freaking cameras. Oh wait, I don't know if I can say that. Sony's ahead with the mirrorless. It's the same idea. Tesla ahead with the electric cars.
So that's going to be super interesting. They're going to reveal that, I believe, like Monday or Tuesday. So like right after we record this podcast. Hey, sorry to interrupt Nick and Adam from the past. This is Adam from the future here. Sorry about the lighting. If you're on the audio version, you don't even have to worry about it. Anyways, just want to get in here and say the F-150 Lightning was released just yesterday. So I'm definitely showing some photos right now. Looks really awesome. If you're on the audio version, just give it a quick Google search, check it out. It looks really cool, but I'll definitely be talking about it a lot more on the next week's podcast. So definitely tune in for that one. It's going to be really cool. Anyways, back to you, past Nick and Adam. The next image, number 3, there was an image 2, but it was pretty bad.
Okay.
This is the first Subaru electric vehicle. It is called the Solterra, which is interesting because they are partnering up with Toyota. And if you go to image 4 and 5, that is Toyota's electric car. So they kind of look similar if you look at it. We don't have much detail for the Subaru, but if you look at the shape and everything, they're very, very similar.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. I wonder if more automakers are going to do this. Like those ones that don't really have electric cars yet, like Subaru. I wonder if more are going to partner up with different automakers that already have electric cars, because it's a start.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll find out. We'll find out how good these are too. There's not much information yet. I mean, as you see the Subaru teaser, it's just, you can't even see the car.
Yeah. Just hit us with some backlighting and said, here you go.
Yeah.
But
so
I mean, it looks cool. Doesn't
I
really
hope it's
give
cool.
you anything
Yeah.
on it, but
So that's a little news. Oh yeah. Also, there's number 6 is like a bit of the interior. If you notice, that's a Tesla steering wheel. That's a yoke. That's very interesting. We don't even know if the yoke for the Model S is even good,
yeah.
right? Like we don't even know, and Toyota's out here just, putting it in there.
Why not? Go for
I
it.
mean, when Tesla's doing it, you got to do it too.
Exactly.
Yeah. And this last car is the Mazda Mx-30, which I just happened to fall on by chance. I have never heard anything about this car until we were looking for a car for my mom. And we were on the Mazda website, and this was like on top. I've never seen this car before. Now the problem is, which is something I wanted to transition into, is this car is very small. It has a range of approximately what Mazda says is like 250 kilometers. That's not a lot. That's like half of what a Model 3 can do right now. Which is a problem because if you notice, a lot of the electric cars coming out nowadays are very much like hatchback shaped or like coupe shaped. Like they look like a teardrop, right? It's for aerodynamics. Which is weird because how is the Ford going to work? How are pickup trucks and semis going to work on electric? Because they're not aerodynamic at all.
No, they're not.
Right? So, I mean, you gotta have a huge battery. And if you're towing anything, like cut your range in half, at least, right? Because if you're going up and down hills, you're not, like, even the regen is not enough to, like, regenerate so much that you can still make a huge range. So, I don't know. There's another technology, hydrogen cars, which you fuel it like a regular car at a gas station. It gives you hydrogen, of course. And it only takes a couple seconds, nice and quick, not like an electric car. You got to wait there for like an hour. And it takes like the hydrogen, it reacts with oxygen. The only thing you get is water. So it was funny. Like one of the Doug DeMuro videos I watched, it basically like pees out the water out of like a drain hole. It's really funny. Like you can trigger it yourself.
Oh, wow.
So you can basically make your car pee like whenever you want. But I mean, the hydrogen for now is very expensive to make. The process to do it is super expensive to just get the hydrogen. So I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. Like the future of automotive stuff is so weird right now. Because batteries are coming in electric, but then there's like a shortage of all the what you need to make a battery, like lithium, nickel, copper, all that stuff. There's going to be a shortage in not even too far out, like 5 years. There's going to be a shortage. And the demand for electric cars is just going up.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know. I really don't know what's going to happen even in the next 5 years in terms of cars. Anyways. There was one thing in the news that got me really fired up. Or this week. Someone, I believe in California, is driving a Tesla with the full self-driving package from the back seat.
Oh, I didn't hear about this.
Yeah. I think he's already been arrested twice and got his Tesla taken away. And apparently he's a millionaire and can just buy Teslas as much as he wants.
Left, right, and center.
Which that's not good.
Why?
But,
why?
I mean,
why do you think that's a good idea?
I don't know. I truly don't know.
How could you even trust it enough? Like, no matter how, reliable it has been in the past and it continues to be, sitting in the back seat while it just drives itself. Like, it's not a transformer, okay? It doesn't have its own mind. It can still mess up.
Yeah. And the thing that bothers me so much is that Tesla is getting the bad press. It's like, why? Because, like, we had that van attack. It was tragic in Toronto. Some guy had mental disabilities. He rented a van from U-Haul and decided to drive it on a sidewalk. Right. So that's basically, like, this situation with Tesla is basically saying, like, oh, U-Haul deserves the bad press because they can rent vans to people. Right?
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't make sense. These people, there's been a couple already that drive, like, just in the back of a Tesla or just let it do whatever. And bad things have happened. There's been crashes, deadly ones, already. And it's like saying Tesla gets the bad press because people are hijacking the full self-driving for, you know, what they think is right. Which that doesn't make sense. People are responsible for their cars and how they use them. I don't think Tesla should get this bad press.
No, that seems kind of what word do I want to use? I was going to use a word that I shouldn't say on here. But like that's just not it's not it. Like what if I go crash my car? If I go crash my Mazda 3, it's not going to be Mazda's fault. It's going to be my fault. So if this guy chooses to freaking drive in the back seat, how is that Tesla's fault that they're, you know, like they're like, what am I trying to say? Just so far in the future with their technology, just what they're doing is so amazing. Like what? So they just have to take that out. They can't do that. They can't add it. Like that seems silly.
Exactly. It is silly. Like, I don't even know what to say about it. Just don't drive your Tesla from the back seat.
Or don't fall asleep either, because that's also happened. That too.
You're right. Yeah. And I mean, like, Tesla is doing everything they can to stop people from doing it, right? If you're driving it properly, you need to have your seatbelt in. You have to have your hands on the wheel. That's what they say. You know, they don't recommend you to just drive like this. You need to have your hands near the wheel so you can quickly grab and take over. Mm-hmm. And I've seen a video where if someone starts to drive and they take their seatbelt off, the self-driving turns off. So, like, that means people are buckling in behind their back, putting it in, and then you can get, like, a device, or like an orange even, I've seen it work. You can just stick it in the steering wheel so that the car thinks you're holding on, and then you're good, right? Like, that's how they do it. But that's not how you're supposed to drive the car. That's not it. So how does Tesla get the bad press for this? See, that got me fired up. I don't agree with Tesla getting the fire for it. Please, Tesla, keep working on the full self-driving. Don't worry about these idiots that decide to drive by themselves or in the back seat. Yeah. Keep doing what you're doing. All right? Don't worry about them. They're dumb.
Yes. That's not that bad.
All right. That gotta cool down. Cool down. For me, at least.
Okay.
I wanted to get into it's also kind of got to do with cars, but there's a chip shortage. I don't know if you heard about it.
Nope.
Yeah, so there's a chip shortage. There have been, it started off with COVID because the manufacturers had to shut down their plants. I mean, you know what I'm talking about, the chips, motherboards in all electronics right now. Now, it was weird because, they had to shut down. Demand went down for a lot of things, even cars, but then quickly went up even though COVID's not over. So, like, that fluctuation in demand and then the supply just dropped off created a shortage. So now we've seen, like, Ford F-150s just parked in droves, filling up full parking lots, just sitting there, and they're basically ready to go. They're brand new, but people can't use them. They don't have the chip that goes in there. And even Apple had the problem a little bit with the iPhones, because right, you remember when I got my phone, I had to wait like an extra month for the iPhone 12 Pro Max.
Right.
The cheaper ones came out first, so they had to stagger it a little too.
Yeah.
And honestly, I didn't know where I was going with this. I just wrote it in my notes as something I wanted to mention on the podcast.
Yes.
But I don't know. I just wanted to show people the parking lots filled with the F-150s too, because it's crazy.
Yeah. That's so crazy. And like, even on the topic of phones too, I wanted to bring up like, what do you think about cell phone cameras now and photography? Like where that's leading photography? Because I know some people think that, there's not going to be need for photographers as much, and the industry is just going to kind of fade away, I guess, with cell phones becoming so much better, with the cameras becoming so much better in them.
Yeah. I mean, one of the biggest problems that smartphones are dealing with right now is the growth in the sensor. They're getting larger sensors. But if you've watched an MKBHD video with any of these phones that have a bigger sensor, their depth of field is extremely shallow. Like, I don't even know an example, but there's not much in focus, which is not good to look at because you can't change that. It's not easy to change the aperture on a smartphone. You're usually stuck with one, right?
Yeah.
So honestly, as good as smartphone cameras are right now, like I use my iPhone for a lot of different film stuff because it can do 4K 60. Yeah, it can do 4K 16 or 4K 60 and HDR. So if you look at the videos that come from my phone on any other iPhone, it looks so good. But photography wise, I don't think smartphones will ever truly match, at least not anywhere in the near future, to match like a DSLR, because we've got the big sensor, the aperture can change, lenses super easy to swap out.
Yep.
I don't need to have like 3 on the back of my phone, and you can't have 3 on your camera.
No.
I don't really care about having 3 different ones on my phone.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, if you're going to print anything, you got to go with the DSLR. You can't print phone photos.
You could probably get away if it's like an 8x10 because it's not big and you don't need the resolution. But like, anything bigger than that, I think like you need a DSLR. Yeah. Like, even if it's just a lower end one. You basically covered the things I wanted to say. I mean, I wrote a whole essay on this in first year. And now,
all right.
I mean, I don't remember all of the points I touched, but like one of the biggest ones was sensor size. Like you can't fit the same sensor size in something that's going to fit in the palm of your hand like that. And with that, it's never going to be able to be at the same level as a DSLR. And same thing with lenses, like not being able to change your lens. Like that's kind of essential for, I mean, some things you might be able to get away with it. Some people doing just phone photography, and like if you want to get into photography, it's a great start. But at some point you have to make the transition if you want to do photography seriously as a career. Yeah.
I mean, right now, smartphones are peak. They are the best camera that someone has on them.
Yes.
Which, it's fine. You know, if you're just doing stuff for your family or something quick for everyday life, Your phone is the best camera you have on you, and it's the fastest one. The software works really well. It works all together. It's awesome. But if you're doing anything more serious, or if you want to take on photography as a career, you still got to get a DSLR. There's no other option.
Yes. And the other thing I wanted to bring up was kind of up to my point last week about mirrorless cameras. I know I said Nikon, like I wasn't sure how much or how many bodies they have mirrorless and like how much they've done towards mirrorless, to switch towards mirrorless. I did read today, however, that they are coming out with a dozen lenses this year for the mirrorless bodies, which will, I think, make it 30 total lenses that they have available for mirrorless. So for the Nikon shooters out there, the 2021 should be a good year. I mean, like, pretty sure Sony definitely has a lot more than that. And I don't know about Canon. I don't know how many they have, but I know they have good quality lenses. I'm not sure of the quality on the Nikon.
I mean, just don't buy Nikon. The zoom goes the wrong way. All right, the zoom goes the wrong way. Don't.
Like if you're switching from Canon to Nikon, don't do it, first of all, just like Adam said. But if you're switching or from Sony, I don't actually know. I'm pretty sure Sony's the same as Canon. Yeah. I hope so. It's like it's so weird to get used to, because the lens, when you're putting the lens on, it twists the opposite way, and the zoom is also in the opposite direction, and it's just, that'll mess you up for a while. Once you get used to it, then it's okay, but like, just no. Why, Nikon? Why you gotta be difficult?
Why? Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, even if you are thinking of getting a camera, I wouldn't even go Nikon, just because they have way fewer options in the mirrorless side. Mm-hmm. I mean, I looked it up last week when I was editing to get some of those photos for the video side of things. Like, they have Z7 II and the Z6 II, and then like just the previous generation ones, just the Z7 and the Z6.
Right.
Like that's it.
Yeah.
4. And 2 of them are old.
Yeah. So,
I mean, I wouldn't go Nikon regardless. But hey, you do you.
Probably wouldn't either. Only did it for school. On that note, I think that's about all we had to talk about for today.
Yeah.
So thank you for watching, everyone. Be sure to like and subscribe, and tune in next week.
Yeah. See you next week. Thank you for listening too. You forgot that. Boom. See you next week.
We out.